What is up, beautiful family?
Hey.
So, on our probably like 2 videos ago, we was in Germany, right? We was in Germany, and me and D were impressed with the homes. We were like, man, the way they built the structure,
Definitely,
and all that good stuff. We was like, man, their houses look fantastic. They look like they built, like they took their time, right? Not like our stuff over here in the U.S. Like they put together out of wood.
Right.
So somebody in the dropped off a video to us on how a German home is built.
Okay.
So this is gonna be exciting.
Like
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see. This is gonna be an exciting scene.
Price too or no?
I don't know. Maybe it might be in there. I don't know. If you new, hit that subscribe. What is that?
How is a house built? How does that work? We accompanied the complete construction of a typical German single-family home for more than 6 months. We were involved in every important step, from the first floor work to the finished house.
I'm already impressed.
In the first part, the earthworks were carried out and the floor slab was cast.
Okay.
Now the masonry work continues. The floor slab has hardened and the bricks are already there.
Well, there's your answer.
Now it can start with the masonry. The first step, lay bitumen membrane. It protects the walls from rising damp. For the first row of bricks, a cement mortar has to be mixed, which later becomes as hard as concrete. It serves as an underfill to compensate for differences in height of the base plate, because the stones must all be at exactly the same level. It starts at the corners. A laser checks whether the height is correct.
I see it already. I already know why we ain't doing it over here. Too much time already. Too much time and effort. Right here, y'all had me at the corner and the bricks have to be aligned, and then the laser comes to touch it. Over here, they already said. They already said that's too much time.
You guys have like mess ups too, but I've seen so many videos where people have built houses and within the first month there's so many cracks and shifts and everything.
The homes back in the day, I will speak for the U.S. Back in the day, there were homes built out of like this, like brick.
Back
probably in the 30s.
Back in the day,
like 2030.
Now it's like
modern home building don't got no. What do they call? My dad say it ain't got no bones. The house ain't got no bones.
If the first stone sits and is exactly in balance, the next ones are aligned with it. In the other corners it happens the same way.
That's too much work for us.
Of course, all dimensions for wall openings, for example for windows and doors, must also be observed. The masons have the floor plan for this. Here on the south side of the house there is already the first special feature, 3 floor-to-ceiling windows. The row of bricks must therefore be interrupted here, just like on the front for the front door. The first row is slowly taking shape. The masons work their way from the corners and put stone by stone. But what kind of stone is that exactly, which is installed here?
We do not work with the external wall insulation system, which is widespread here. Instead, our houses use a so-called Puritan stone, so that's a stone made of clay, in which the thermal insulation is integrated in the stone, with hydrophobic mineral wool. So a solid stone, 36.5 centimeters thick, with hydrophobic mineral wool as insulation. That means best sound insulation and best building physical properties and also the best thermal insulation.
So the neighbors ain't gonna know your name.
I was thinking that. Why can't we bring that here?
I told you. We don't. America don't. We the greatest country on this earth.
Hypothetically speaking, if someone had money, can they get that and build their house?
I'm pretty sure they can bring it over.
Oh, so it is possible.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of
like you rich. Like you said, rich people could do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. But this is smart. I'm impressed with the thermal insulation inside of the bricking already because that is something that our houses here in America struggle with. If you get an older home, some of the time you got to get the insulation redone because the insulation sucks. And the price tag. So in pest control, when I did pest control years ago, we were tied in with the insulation. So we had a company when we used to go up there and people need installation. To do a regular house, let's just say a small house. Let's just say your house is 1,500 square foot. You talking about 20, 30,000 to do some installation. So who wants to pay that after buying your house? Say, you know what? They put installation in here, but it wasn't the right one. But we can put the new stuff in here. 20,000 out of your pocket. We'll come lay it for you. Your house will be cold and nice and cool. Come on now, do it right the first time.
The bricklayers have made the first course and are already on the second row. So-called thin bed mortar now ensures the non-positive connection between the rows of stones.
Take your time.
Ideal for energy-efficient building.
Yes.
High load capacity with a very small joint thickness of approximately 1 millimeter. The second row is quickly laid. A barrier film against rising damp comes over it again. The two lower rows of stones form the base of the house, which will later be clad. The walls are now protruding over the base. The masons are making good progress thanks to the large-scale bricks.
They are making some good progress.
But instead of laying row after row now, they first concentrate on the corners of the outer walls.
That is crazy.
But why is that unleveled?
Because that's the bottom layer is the bottom layer is on the thing, and then now they bringing the house out.
Forming the corners has the advantage that you can easily lay out the plumb lines for the next rows of tiles. The first working day is done.
That was the first day? I feel like they did a lot.
Right.
That was like a week or something.
I wasn't thinking that. I thought a little bit.
The next morning they continue with the outer walls.
Yeah, like one person
The bricklayers place row after row.
Dang.
It's like they building Tetris out here.
How long does
The
it take
windows
to do
and
this?
lintels are installed. And around noon the bricklayers arrived at the last row on the ground floor.
Look at that.
Finally, the pink styrofoam formwork is laid for the concrete ceiling. The formwork also
Concrete
serves
ceiling?
as insulation and remains on the building after finishing the ceiling. At the end of the second working day, the outer walls of the ground floor are ready.
That's 2 days?
That's what I'm telling you. You like, oh,
That's good.
that's what I'm saying.
Dang. That is.
And then seeing how time consuming this video looks, I'm like, this is like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. In America, this is 3 months. Go look at your house. This 3 months. No, they pretty fast now. Now the way they building houses.
But this is very like.
Now, you can have a house done in 3 months now. The way they building houses now out here out of paper. They just gum and paper.
That's nice.
They building houses out of gum, paper clips, and
This looks like Minecraft.
that's what I'm saying. They actually building a home. Ours is gum, paper clips, and paper, and done in 3 months for $450,000.
How much is this house?
You know the story, Three Little Pigs? We are now the first house. He blew it over.
So who's the second?
Because
they're the third.
Yeah, they third for sure. He ain't blowing his over.
Yeah, he ain't.
I don't know who the second. I gotta go find somebody who building cheap houses like us.
Wait, because now you got me thinking it was what the first house.
Day
was
3. Today, the interior.
What was the house? Now you got me thinking it's brick,
The last house was brick.
straw.
And then sticks, I think. It was straw, sticks, and then brick, I think.
Really? I thought it was sticks, mud, brick. I don't know. Okay, but anyway.
No, it was like straw.
Now I gotta go
sticks,
back to the story.
Or the stick, straw, one of those. It used to be reversed. But
Yeah.
both of them was sticks and straws.
Both them.
Interior walls are created. Here too, a bitumen membrane is placed under the walls to protect against rising damp. The stones are so-called vertical perforated bricks in 2 different versions. For comparison,
punch a wall
here
one of their
both
houses,
on
it's
top
over
of
with.
each other. The brick with 17.5 centimeters wall thickness for the load-bearing walls and the narrower brick with 11.5 centimeters for the non-load-bearing walls. The floor plan shows where which stone has to be used. The load-bearing walls run right through the house, between the living room, guest room, kitchen, and the utility room, and once along to the load-bearing living room wall, and the non-load-bearing walls run between the kitchen, living room, bathroom and the utility room. The walls are set up here just like the outer walls. Cement mortar under the first row, exact leveling of the first stones with laser. From the second row on, thin bed mortar, laser, spirit level, plumb line and constant checking ensure exact straight walls.
They not wasting no time.
Finished. The inner walls are standing. Now the base gets a diffusion open seal before the cladding is coming. Day 4. The scaffolding comes. The base is clad and the masons set up pillars throughout the house to support the ceiling elements.
I'm impressed.
The next morning, exactly at 8 a.m., the crane stands for the ceiling elements. The ceiling elements, so-called semi-finished part ceilings, are approximately 6 centimeters thick reinforced concrete slabs, in which part of the necessary reinforcement has already been inserted. They can be laid quickly and flexibly, depending on the size, but then still need to be concreted. For this, the masons insert additional reinforcement bars.
They use so much concrete.
Firstly, to optimally connect and consolidate the ceiling with the masonry. Secondly, to join the individual ceiling elements together. This creates a stable, closed concrete ceiling after concreting. Only the access to the stairs remains free and has to be boarded accordingly.
Are we building a two-stair?
Yeah,
the stairs.
So then they have to redo all the brick that brick thing up again, right?
Once all the reinforcement bars have been laid, everything is connected with wire so that nothing moves during concrete pouring. The ceiling openings for the supply lines, water, heating, electric.
Not to like downplay ours or whatever, like the people that build the houses out here, but is this the same steps that they take as far as like the wiring and everything for a two-story?
I watched our houses get built. So my parents, when they had a house built, I got to watch it from the start. So the base is the same. They laid a little cement base, right?
Yeah.
So you go out there, you see a little trenches get cut, and first they cut the trenches in the ground, then they put your little piping in, and then they lay the cement base, and then you come out, you see your little piping still got the cement base, and then they go around and then they start like the wood, and they start building it up, and then after the wood, they come in with that sheetrock and all that stuff, and then you go in and now you got a little house, start looking like a house now. Then they start doing the roofing and all that stuff. And then you start seeing electrical and stuff. Oh, electrical, I forgot. Plumbing and electrical get ran.
So no.
No, it's different. Theirs different than ours.
I just feel like
I didn't see no electrical, or I don't know if they do theirs.
The wiring, like all this wiring.
I didn't see no electrical nothing get ran.
Like to make they did the concrete and the wiring.
Well, that's rebar. You got to put that for concrete.
But did they do that in our houses?
On the cement on the ground, the rebar, yeah, they put rebar in it. Every cement has to have rebar.
Oh.
Anybody who don't put this, which is the metal stuff in rebar, that they ain't doing their cement right. You have to have rebar in your cement. You're supposed to.
Oh, that's what I did.
Electricity which comes to the upper floor also remain free. They get polystyrene covers before concreting. Finished. The concrete for the ceiling can come. A total of approximately 12 cubic meters of concrete flow into the formwork for the approximately 10 by 10 meters ceiling slab. It is important to evenly distribute and prevent air pockets. Therefore, constantly push the concrete back and forth so that the air can escape. The height must of course also be correct and is constantly checked with the laser.
That just seems like a lot of work.
But they're only 4.
I know, they're good.
Or 5.
I love watching cement get laid. It's so
done.
They smooth it.
Now the concrete is compacted with a surface vibrator. The surface vibrator directs high-frequency vibrations into the concrete. This increases the flowability of the fresh concrete. Air pockets rise to the surface and can escape. This gives the concrete its perfect, dense consistency.
That's a noise. It looks like someone painted it.
Finished. Now the concrete ceiling has to harden.
How long does that take?
Well, we'll see by day one. Never mind, we starting over
A
again.
few days later,
A few
the
days
bricklayers
later.
start with the upper floor. The construction is the same as on the ground floor. The outer walls are created again with the thermal brick made of Puritan stone with hydrophobized mineral wool. First the corners are created again, then the entire outer walls. However, there are no longer any load-bearing walls inside. All partitions for the master bedroom, dressing room, bathroom, children's room and corridor are built with the narrower, vertically perforated brick with a wall thickness of 11.5 centimeters. After 4 days, the upper floor is also up.
But I'm thinking like we in week 2 now because they started over. They missed
So we about on day
As
12.
a conclusion, only the anchor ring plate is missing. For this, the bricklayers have already put a formwork on the top row of bricks, into which reinforcement bars are now being laid. The anchor ring, as the name suggests, runs like a ring around the entire top edge of masonry. This reinforced concrete construction gives the wall stability. The anchor ring plate is used to absorb and transfer horizontal tensile forces such as wind, ground vibrations and the roof load itself.
Yeah, I'll be waiting messing up.
If the concrete is filled, it must be compacted again with the surface vibrator. The masonry work is now complete. The walls of the house stand. Construction time for the 2 floors, 10 days.
It said the whole thing took 10 days?
That part, yeah.
I counted 12. I said 12 because
But we're not done. This is
Okay,
like
but I
part-
counted 12. So I and that's only because I gave them a little I gave them a little more because when they said a few days to dry, so
Yeah.
I threw about extra 2 days. So oh my god, I mathed the math
I
and I
used
was
that
actually
finishing
good.
product.
That is so cool. Actually, is there a video like of an update? Because I want to see the inside and everything. But that like I want to know price wise, like how much is that? Like, is it expensive because it's brickwork in a sense? You know, because like they say like brick is always more
That was some
expensive.
fancy stuff.
But dude,
That was fancy. Now I see why they buildings look so great over there because they take time and they act. It's nice.
I almost say they take time because they fast. But
What they use, I can see
Yeah,
why
that's-
their buildings are so. They look so nice.
that is so crazy though.
That's not even finished product. We're like at the square root of this, like the
Yeah,
beginning.
true.
This is not even like the finishing, and we're already impressed by some brick walls.
But
being put
still,
up.
that's still good.
Well,
That's
clay
like,
in that
and it
case.
was only like when you think about it, it was like about 6 guys.
I forgot why they said we. I don't know what our clay homes were they made out of like the bricks like that. I know back in the day, I don't know how far back it goes, but they used to make clay homes. Like in a little town away from us called Taft, they have clay homes still there because they were built like that.
Yeah.
But we got away from clay for I don't know reason. Probably cost as always in America. Everything's always cut with cost. Cheaper bones with everything. Cars, houses, everything. So maybe that's probably what it was. They probably like we ain't using clay
But
no
still,
more. And then
still.
time consuming on building it.
I feel like they're safe
So-
in their homes.
100%. And they probably don't even have disasters like us over here. We got
I'm
all
just
kinds. We
saying,
still always cutting
like-
corners. And then they wonder why the building falls to the ground when something happened. Because y'all keep cutting corners. Stop it. But another great video.
That was a
Let us
good
know what y'all
video.
thought. I did not know this was going to be a parter. I thought this was like one whole video when it was sent.
Well,
so
now you know.
I guess there's a part 3 to this. Somebody,
Let
I
us
guess we
know.
got to go find her. One of y'all can send it to us so we can finish this off. But let us know what y'all thought. If you're from there, educate us as always, like
Please
y'all
do.
always do. And we'll see y'all in the next one.